Welcome to Layman Storyteller. Today I'm here to tell you about a story which I read when I was in 12th grade. It was a story about a young boy telling another girl which was set in the future. And in the story he tells that this is a book from which the earlier generation actually studied from. Because in their generation they were used to monitor screens or apps or tabs or things of that sort, which was in the future. But I felt it was too early in my time that I'll be able to see such kind of a revolution. Back then also there were a couple of people who were actually making inroads into technology. There was Educom that was making some revolution in India. There was Khan Academy which was making some revolution in abroad. But they were not in my country, and I never thought they would actually revolutionize in my lifetime at least. But later I saw that there has been a lot of changes that is happening, and I'm here to talk about Byju's app, which has been creating change today in homes across me or across my family. And this is an interesting story. First time I remember hearing about Byju was when I was in Bangalore, when I was actually studying in Bangalore. He was also a small-time trainer who was actually giving education or training to competitive exams, and he was doing quite well for himself. I remember him hearing stories that he had only 6 students initially, then it went to 35, and then to within 6 weeks an auditorium of over 1,200 students. So that's the growth that he had. But it was all restricted to these competitive exams and things of that sort, I mean, and understand. But then it had a remarkable growth. I had one of my friend who went for IAS coaching and then later worked for him, and he said this guy is a very down-to-earth, charming guy. Who's from a very modest beginning, and that made me wonder what made Facebook investors to actually invest in his app, because that was a growth. This normal person coming from a background of a Malayalam medium school with a normal teachers as his parents, creating such a kind of confidence booster to them, and the growth has been so enormous. Like this morning I checked, there are 10 million viewers, 10 million downloads for his app in Google Play Store. And not only that, in the last 2 weeks I've heard 2 parents who are close to me telling their kids, have you downloaded this app? I remember back 1 year back in India, people actually telling that this is a good app that you need to download. But here in UAE, I can see that 2 parents in the last 2 weeks telling about downloading this app. So this is actually getting into the homes of people. Byju also, as far as I understand, had a 3 option to go in his life. One was he was actually his starting career of classes. He did that during one of his breaks from his office. So like he had an option to continue with his career, but he had actually scored good marks to enter into IIM. He would have actually gone ahead with that particular thing, just like the way how society demands. You get into IIM, IIT, there's nothing else you need to do. You need to go there and you need to do that. So that's what everybody says. And he could have actually done that. But he actually chose this particular field of actually teaching people. He wanted, rather than himself to be in IIM, he wanted to put more people inside IIM. And doing this, one more thing that happened was he actually got an upper hand over his competitors who were also in the same field to get into the IIM coaching classes and things of that sort. And he was a pioneer in that particular industry, I can say. And this transformation helped him to have an upper hand, and he had students who joined him later in his company as well, who were IIM graduates, to help him boost his business as well. But this particular person, he actually shambled the society's image of going to IIM and then doing it. He followed his passion first. In the Bible also, in the chapter of John, there's an interesting story about a seed. Jesus tells that a seed is of no use if it is remaining as a seed, but if it dies to grow into a tree or a plant, it brings about more fruits to the world. So this is the same way about Mr. Byju as well. He didn't remain as a seed and going into an IIM or other things about how according to the society's dream, but he died for his passion, and then that created actually a revolution. He brought about more fruits. He brought in more people to the mainstream education. He helped a lot more people achieve their dreams. This is what he did, and that created a lot of difference in other people's life. And this is what I feel what was done right by Mr. Byju as well. And this is what I wish that all of us do for ourselves and for people around us. Thank you so much for listening to us. Hope you like this interesting story. Thank you once again.